All right. Welcome back for another deep dive.
Oh, yeah. Back again.
This time, we're returning to the world of Cyan 6. You know,
Oh, yeah. Cyan 6.
that novel that just keeps getting more and more mysterious the more we learn about it.
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, and you just find another onion underneath.
Yeah, exactly. And for anyone just tuning in who maybe missed our last deep dive,
Yeah.
we were already kind of scratching our heads
Oh.
over the book's style.
Yeah.
You know, it's very fragmented.
Yeah. Very, yeah.
And its exploration of these ideas like optional immortality.
Right.
But buckle up, because things have gotten even more weird
Yeah.
since we last talked.
Yeah.
CBC just announced
Oh, wow.
that Cyan 6 has actually won a national award,
Wow. A national award.
but they're being very secretive about it all.
They're not saying any.
They won't say anything. I mean, they won't reveal the category.
Oh, wow.
They won't give us any information about the author or authors.
No author information.
Nothing.
Oh, that's really interesting. I mean, that's unusual, right? To have that level of secrecy around an award.
It's almost as if, like, the enigma of the book itself
Right.
is now bleeding out into the real world, you know?
It really is. It's like a marketing ploy in itself, right?
Yes.
Turning the award into part of the mystery.
Yeah.
It just adds to that whole mystique.
So how does all this play into the book's success?
Right.
Like, how is it being received by critics?
Right.
We've got this award-winning book, but it seems as elusive
Yeah.
as its creators.
Oh.
What are people thinking?
Yeah. Well, we've got tons to go through today.
Right.
I mean, we've got articles, reviews. We've even got some chatter online to try and sort through. So let's see what we can uncover here.
Okay, so let's just get right into it then.
Yeah.
Let's start with the elephant in the room, this award.
Yeah.
The CBC announcement
Yeah.
is so bare bones. It's just a statement that Cyan 6 won.
It's just like, they won.
Yeah. And no mention of the category it won in.
Oh.
I mean, have you ever seen anything like this?
Not quite like this.
Yeah.
It's definitely unusual. It's definitely generating a lot of buzz, though. A lot of people are throwing around their theories.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are speculating that it could be some, prestigious literary prize.
Right.
Others are thinking that maybe it's something a little less conventional.
Right.
Maybe something that reflects the book's experimental structure.
Mm.
Or its multimedia elements, right? Because, I mean, there are all these online reading groups, right?
I know.
That are dissecting the text, sharing their findings. You
Yeah.
know, it's like this whole collaborative decoding project.
Right. Yeah, and it makes me think of
Yeah.
like those really avant-garde art installations where everyone is kind of left wondering,
Right.
is this like genius or is this a hoax?
Yeah, is this a joke? I mean, what's happening here?
What's going on?
Right. I think there are definitely parallels there.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, whether or not this was intentional by the CBC,
Yeah.
this silence has only amplified the whole mystery.
Exactly.
It's drawing even more attention to the book. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you can't buy this kind of publicity.
I know. I mean, book sales have skyrocketed since the announcement.
Oh, wow.
And everyone is trying to figure out, like,
Yeah.
what does this award mean? Not just for the book, but for, like, the literary world at large.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So it's safe to say that the award has had, like,
Huge impact.
a huge impact. But
Yeah.
it seems like the critical reception
Oh, yeah.
to the book itself is still
All over the place.
all over the place. Yeah, I mean, from what I recall,
Yeah.
when it first came out, critics were so bewildered by Cyan 6.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the initial reaction was just a mix of confusion and in some cases just straight up dismissal.
Right, like they didn't even want to engage with it.
No, I mean, a lot of reviewers found the novel structure so frustrating.
Yeah.
You know, they were calling it pretentious and incoherent.
Right.
They just couldn't find a cohesive narrative amidst all the, diary entries and news clippings.
And the cryptic messages.
And the cryptic messages and all that.
Right.
They were having a hard time.
There was one review
I remember that.
that likened reading Cyan 6
Oh, yeah.
to trying to assemble a jigsaw puzzle while wearing a blindfold.
Oh, man. That's rough.
Ouch, yeah.
But even then,
Yeah.
even in those early reviews, there were some critics
Oh,
who, even the ones who didn't love it,
Yeah.
they sensed that there was something more going on.
Right.
Something deeper beneath the surface.
Yeah, something worth digging for.
Something worth digging for. They praised the book's ambition, the author's willingness to experiment with form and language.
And it's like those ancient texts, the cryptic ones that scholars spend years
and years
decoding and looking for hidden patterns and meanings.
Absolutely trying to figure it out, what's going on here.
Right.
And that's what seems to be happening now with Science 6, right?
Yeah.
I mean, since that award, critics are going back.
Oh, really?
They're rereading it, and they're finding all these layers of depth that they missed the first time around.
So are they changing their opinions now?
Yeah. Well,
what are they saying now?
I mean, one really notable shift that we're seeing is a growing appreciation for the novel's fragmented structure, which, I mean, as we talked about before, that was a big point of contention.
Right.
But now critics are starting to see how that structure actually mirrors the themes. I mean, Science 6 is set in this world where immortality is a choice.
Right.
And the protagonist is struggling with that weight.
Yeah.
That existential weight, right? Yeah. The burden of living forever, that fear of just stagnating, and the potential for society to change in such a monumental way.
Right.
Critics are now arguing that the fragmented style is actually intentional.
Interesting.
It's a reflection of the main character's consciousness. You know, it reflects the uncertainty and the disorientation that comes with these massive concepts.
Right. So instead of seeing the fragmentation as a flaw,
right, exactly,
they're now seeing it as a stylistic choice.
Yeah, as a way to actually enhance
Well,
the exploration of these themes.
That's really interesting.
It is.
So the novel is forcing us as readers to confront that same kind of existential unease.
Right, exactly.
That the protagonist is experiencing.
That the protagonist is going through,
Wow. And another theme that critics are revisiting in light of this award is this idea of societal sacrifice.
Right.
You know that really chilling line from the book?
Oh, yeah.
Some people must suffer for the sake of the rest of us.
I get chills just thinking about that.
I know, right? It's so stark and unsettling.
It really is.
And critics are connecting that to the ethical issues surrounding optional immortality.
Right.
Like, who gets to live forever?
Right, right.
What about the potential for social inequality?
Exactly.
The psychological effects of living endlessly.
Right. Not only for individuals, but for society as a whole.
Yeah. It's like the book is asking, what would we be willing to sacrifice?
Yeah, what are you willing to give up?
For this kind of progress.
For progress, yeah.
And is that progress even something we should be striving for?
Right, yeah. Is this really a good thing?
So it sounds like Science 6, despite that initial bewildering reaction to it, it's starting to be recognized as like a really thought-provoking work. It's not just like a sci-fi novel.
Oh, right.
It's a deeper dive into what makes us human.
It means to be human, right?
Yeah.
And the consequences of our choices.
Exactly. And maybe that's why CVC chose to award it.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever the category is.
Who knows?
It's a book that asks hard questions.
Yeah.
Challenges our assumptions.
It pushes boundaries.
It pushes the boundaries of storytelling.
Absolutely. And on that note, I think we should maybe take a closer look at some of those questions.
Okay.
And dive a little deeper into the world of Science 6.
All right, let's do it. So we've established that Science 6 is more than just a puzzle.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually getting recognized now. For its exploration of some pretty deep themes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like that optional immortality.
Right, exactly.
And societal sacrifice.
Societal sacrifice, yeah. Big questions.
Yeah, huge questions. And it's fascinating to see how these themes like play out through the characters in the story. We have that protagonist, obviously, wrestling with this idea of living forever, but then surrounded by friends who represent very different perspectives on this choice.
Right, let's talk about those friends for a second.
Yeah, let's dive in.
There's Buddy.
Buddy, yeah.
And from what I can remember, he's almost like a cheerleader for like...
Yeah, he's like the social butterfly.
Social interaction.
Yeah, get out there, live life.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's also expressing concern for the protagonist's well-being.
He's worried about them.
Yeah. It's like he's caught in this push and pull.
Yeah, it's this weird dynamic where he wants them to,
engage.
But he's also recognizing the potential, downsides to that.
Yeah. Buddy embodies like this anxiety that we're all kind of feeling today, I think.
Yeah, it's very relevant.
That fear of missing out,
right?
That pressure to be constantly engaging.
Yeah, got to be doing something all the time.
Yeah, even when it feels exhausting.
Yeah.
And you can imagine, like, in a world where you could potentially live forever,
right? That
pressure could just be...
Oh, it'd be magnified. Tenfold.
Yeah. Think about, like, the constant stream of social events.
Right.
This expectation.
Yeah, got to do it all.
That you have to experience everything.
See it all, do it all.
And, like, the fear of making, like, the wrong choice.
Oh, especially the wrong choice.
Because it could potentially last forever.
Right, because it's forever.
Yeah. So it's like the protagonist is being pulled...
in two different directions.
Yeah. Wanting to connect with people, but also feeling...
overwhelmed.
All
of it.
Yeah. And then we have Jada.
Right.
Who seems to represent...
like a more proactive
approach to life.
Yeah, like get out there and do it.
Yeah. She's encouraging the protagonist to, like, engage with the world.
Right.
And she even gives, like, specific suggestions.
Yeah. I remember
like go on a boat trip to Fogo Island.
Right.
It's like she's trying to pull them out of their shell.
Yeah. Get them out there.
Yeah. And embrace the experience.
Right. Make the most of it.
Right. Make the most of this long life.
This long, long life.
Right. But her stance on optional immortality is never
stated outright. It's ambiguous.
Right. And it makes the relationship with the protagonist so intriguing. It's like they're...
two sides of the same coin.
Exactly. But they're both grappling with this question of how to live in this world where the rules have changed.
Right. Where things are different.
Yeah. But they're coming at it from...
different angles.
Yeah. Yeah, and this dynamic between them and Buddy and the protagonist, it really highlights, like, the novel's nuance.
In terms of character development.
Yeah, like, we're not just seeing good and bad.
Right. No, it's not black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's complex.
It's these complex people who are trying to figure this out, just like the readers are.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that ambiguity even extends to, like, what seem to be minor details. Like those dates.
Dates and locations. Yeah.
1944, St. John's, Newfoundland.
1944.
And those specific dates that are scattered throughout.
Yeah, what are we supposed to make of those?
What do they mean?
Yeah, because at first glance, they seem so random. Like almost like glitches in the system.
In the narrative matrix, right.
Yeah, exactly.
But some critics are saying that those could actually be clues.
Oh, interesting.
Breadcrumbs.
Like a trail.
Leading us to something deeper.
To a deeper understanding of what's going on.
Yeah. Because remember, we're dealing with a narrator here.
Oh, right.
Who might not be...
reliable. Yeah, who knows what's going on in their head.
Whose perception might be skewed by the curve. You know that mysterious phenomenon that
bends reality. It exports time.
Yeah. And it makes me think that the curve might actually just be like a metaphor for the uncertainty that we all face in our own lives.
Yeah.
You know, where we feel like we're losing control. Things are changing too fast.
And that actually brings us back to that document warning.
Oh, yeah, at the very beginning.
Wow. The one that mentions the sensitive content. The coded sections.
Yeah, coded sections.
And the potential illegality. Yeah, and it definitely adds another layer of intrigue.
It does.
To this already mysterious book.
Another layer to the onion.
Right. Is Science 6 even just fiction at this point?
Right.
Could it be like a coded message?
Like something real?
Something real, a piece of a larger puzzle.
Yeah, something bigger.
Yeah. And the sources you gave me, they offer some pretty interesting hints.
Some tantalizing hints.
They do.
There are whispers of conspiracies, shadowy organizations. It makes you wonder if the world of Science 6 is closer to our own reality than we think, than we realize. Yeah. And that's a pretty chilling thought.
It is.
But it's also super compelling.
It's very compelling.
It makes me want to go back and reread the book.
Oh, yeah.
Looking for those clues.
To decipher the code.
Trying to decode it, yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of piecing things together, there was one passage that really stood out to me.
Okay.
It describes Science 6.
The book itself.
Wow. As story fragments grasping for life.
That's interesting.
And it's like the novel is...
self-aware.
Yeah, it's like commenting on itself.
Right.
And the nature of storytelling.
In this world.
Yeah, in this world.
Where things are so fragmented.
Yeah.
And uncertain.
And that's such a brilliant point. Yeah. Because it's like the book itself is blurring the line between fiction and reality.
Yeah. Just like the protagonist is struggling to make sense of a world where time and memory are
fluid and unreliable. Yeah, so what does this mean for us, for the readers?
The ones who are trying to make sense of all of this.
Yeah, trying to figure out where Science 6 fits.
Yeah.
In the world, in the literary landscape.
Right. We've got this award-winning book that defies categorization.
Critics who can't pin it down.
And these readers...
A growing community of readers.
Are obsessed with figuring out its hidden meaning. Yeah. I mean, it's a phenomenon.
It really is. And maybe it just speaks to that hunger that we have, that need for stories that really challenge us.
Yeah, push us beyond our comfort zone.
That make us question the world.
Make us think about things in a different way.
Yeah. And Science 6, it seems to have tapped into that.
With its enigmatic structure, its character, its hidden meanings.
And the fact that it's sparking so much debate and discussion.
And obsession.
Yeah, obsession. Yeah. I mean, it suggests that this story...
It's going to stick with us for a while.
It's going to be around for a while, yeah.
Right.
But we still haven't explored everything.
No, we haven't even scratched the surface.
We haven't. Like those potential connections.
Yeah.
Between the book's world and...
In the real world.
The real world.
And the mysteries surrounding its author.
Right.
Or authors.
Or authors. And, of course, that document warning.
Right. Looming over everything.
Right.
Which suggests that maybe there's more to Science 6
than meets the eye.
Than we realize.
Yeah. So in the final part of our deep dive...
Yeah, let's get into it.
We're going to explore those connections.
Okay.
Examine those clues.
All right.
And try to figure out what it all means.
I am ready. Let's do it.
Okay, we're back.
Back for the final part.
The final part of our deep dive.
Yeah.
Into Science 6.
Into the world of Science 6.
And man.
Yeah.
The more we dig into this book.
I know, right?
The more layers.
It's like an onion.
We uncover.
It's like an onion.
So many layers. Yeah, or like one of those fractal images.
Right.
Where every time you zoom in, it just gets...
It's a whole new level of complexity.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we talked about earlier that I think is so interesting is that document warning.
Right. Right at the beginning.
At the beginning.
With all that talk of like sensitive content.
Sensitive content. Coded sections. And potential illegality.
Illegality.
It's like a dare almost.
The dare to the reader. Rather.
Yeah, like, are you sure you want to?
Do you really want to go down this path?
Go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, because it's going to get weird.
And it adds like a whole other dimension to the reading experience.
That's not just a story anymore, right?
It's not just a story. It's like
It's a puzzle box.
Puzzle box. Yeah, some kind of secret code.
Secret code. Waiting to be cracked.
Waiting to be cracked. And that makes me think about those recurring dates and locations. The dates and the locations.
The locations, yeah, like 1944.
The St. John's, Newfoundland.
Those specific dates.
Yeah.
What if they're not just random?
What if they're clues?
Clues, yeah, like points on a map.
And like coordinates leading to something real.
Leading to something real.
Hidden, something secret.
Something hidden, yeah.
And some of the online theories I've seen. Are kind of going in that direction where people are taking those dates and cross-referencing them with real historical events.
Yeah, trying to find patterns.
Trying to find those connections.
Yeah, trying to figure out if they correspond to real-world places.
Real places, yeah.
It's like the book is a treasure map.
It is. It's like a treasure hunt.
Yeah, and that sense of like a hidden reality.
Right.
It's further emphasized by...
The milkman.
The milkman.
Oh, yeah, the milkman.
Right. I mean, he's
such a mysterious figure.
Such a mysterious figure.
He's one of the most enigmatic characters in the whole book.
He really is. And he kind of represents that genuine human connection.
Like that authentic interaction.
Like authentic interaction.
That's so rare.
So rare.
In this world.
Yeah, in this world where people are struggling with this choice of immortality.
Where every decision feels huge.
Yeah, where every choice has so much weight.
It does, yeah.
But there are these hints, right?
Like these little hints.
That the milkman might be...
More than just a symbol.
More than just a symbol, yeah. Like he could be part of something bigger.
Yeah, like a secret organization.
Right, like working behind the scenes.
Pulling the strings.
Pulling the strings. And that's
it's a really
super intriguing.
Intriguing possibility.
Yeah. It makes you wonder.
It makes you wonder, like, who's really in control.
Yeah, who's really in control.
Of all of this.
Of this world, right.
Of this technology.
Yeah. Who benefits.
Who benefits from it.
from this technology. And
do they have an ulterior motive?
Is there a hidden agenda?
A hidden agenda.
Yeah. It's like a conspiracy.
A conspiracy, yeah, like unfolding.
Behind the main plot.
Behind the main narrative.
And the more we look into these details, the closer we get.
To the truth.
To the truth.
Yeah.
To the heart of it.
Yeah. And it's worth pointing out, this fascination with conspiracies. Yeah. It's not just like a product of the book.
No, it's a reflection of our own anxieties.
Yeah, it's a reflection of our own world, right? Yeah. We're living in this age of
information overload.
Information overload.
Right, where it's hard to tell what's real.
So hard to tell what's real, what's true,
and it's not.
What's fake.
Exactly.
And Science 6, it just kind of plays into that.
With its layers of meaning.
Yeah, its fragmented structure.
The unreliable narrator.
Yeah, and it makes us feel like
we're not getting the full story.
We're not getting the full story.
It's just unnerving, right?
It's unnerving, yeah. And then
there's the question
of the author.
Or authors.
Or authors, right.
I mean, the CBC won't tell us anything.
They refuse to say anything.
They refuse.
About who wrote this book.
Is it one person?
Is it a collective?
A group of people?
A pseudonym.
Is it a pseudonym?
Some people are even saying...
I know.
It could be an AI.
An AI. Which
would be so fitting.
So fitting. Given
the themes.
The themes of the book.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And you mentioned your sources had
There are a few names floating around. Avery, Abram, Sadie.
Yeah. Are these clues?
Are these clues? Are they red herrings?
Are they just random names?
Are they just names?
Yeah. We don't know.
We don't know.
And that's kind of part of what makes Science 6 so captivating.
So fascinating.
Yeah. It invites us to
scale up with our own theories.
Speculate.
Yeah.
To create our own narratives.
Yeah. It's not just a passive experience.
Right.
It's an active engagement.
That gets you thinking.
It does. And it's a catalyst.
Yeah, for conversations and debate.
For conversations. For debate.
For obsession. And it really speaks to the power of literature. Right? The power of a story to challenge us.
Yeah.
To provoke us.
Yeah.
To make us think about things.
In new ways.
In different ways, right. And Science 6.
Right.
With all of its weirdness.
Its
layers and its fragments.
Fragmentation.
It seems to have really struck a chord with readers who are looking for something.
Something more.
Something different.
Yeah. Than a simple story.
Than just a straightforward narrative.
Right. They want to be challenged.
They want to think.
Yeah. And it demands our attention.
It demands our engagement.
It demands our willingness.
To embrace the unknown.
Which
is a gift.
It is a gift.
In a world that's obsessed with certainty.
Yeah, with algorithms.
With data.
Yeah.
Science 6 lets us wander and get lost.
It does. And it helps us rediscover that sense of mystery and wonder.
Right.
Yeah. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to encourage all of you listening.
Yes, everyone listening.
To approach Science 6.
Approach it.
With an open mind.
Yeah, with that sense of curiosity. And a willingness to get lost. To embrace those questions.
Yeah.
Because in the end...
The meaning of the book.
The meaning isn't something you're just given.
It's not handed to you.
You have to work for it.
You have to earn it. You have to find it.
Yeah, piece by piece.
Piece by piece.
Fragment by fragment.
Fragment by fragment. And
that journey
is the most rewarding part.
That's what makes it so special.
It really is, yeah.
So until next time, happy reading.
Happy reading and happy exploring.